guys, this is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our season recap for Red Season 7 in the Blue Division. We had a very interesting run this season, quite a successful one I'd say, given that I wasn't super happy with how the team turned out and how some of the matches turned out. I think I played down to my competition some of the times, which is unfortunately why we ended with the record that we did and ended without a bye and instead had to go through the playoffs. But yeah, overall, really fun season. I loved playing everybody. I'm not the best at points leagues, and especially budget points leagues. Like, we really did not have a high budget for this draft at all, and it kind of required me to do a little bit of maneuvering with the team and things like that. But we're going to go through this just like we do any other season recap, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Hopefully you enjoy um, all the points I'm talking about, and I'll recap every game and my team for that game and why I brought what I did. A little bit, not as nearly as in-depth as my team builders, but again, this will be in the same playlist as all of that, so if you ever felt curious, go ahead. I posted every single match. I was the only coach to post every single match this season. I think only Steven and I were the only ones even uploading in the first place, and I was the only one who posted every match, because I think Steven stopped after week 3, something like that? I can't remember. I watched them, but I can't remember exactly what week they were. So, getting right into things, let's start with the draft analysis here. So, I ended up taking a Mega Alakazam first round, 100%, do not regret. Oh, I forgot a document that I needed open. That I'll open, and then we'll get to that at the end. But, yeah, that's that for now. Cool. Yeah, so Mega Alakazam first round. Who takes this first round, dude? There's no way I should have taken this first round. I wanted it, and I went for it. That's literally all there is to it. Like, 100%, that's all there was to it. I can't... What pick was I? I was the back wheel. Okay, there you go. That's like the first wheel I think I've ever had, is I was the back wheel. So, I was 14th pick, and I ended up grabbing this monster. It was a speedy, specially offensive threat that put in a lot of work this season. Then I grabbed Buzzwole with it. 100%, don't regret it. It beat all of the dark types that would have walled Megazam, beat all the steel types that would have walled Megazam too. So, really strong combo together. I ended up grabbing Donphan round 3. I think this was a little bit early of a Donphan pick, but ended up bringing a lot of utility to the team. Then I grabbed Bisharp, which just was a total waste of space, and we'll see later on that I just really didn't like this thing at all. Although it did force people not to bring webs for Megazam, which I thought was kind of cool. Alomomola didn't even see a game, and then it got dropped, so that's fun. We'll talk about that when I get to the transactions. Comfy was useful early on, and then ended up being more of a hindrance, and I shouldn't have taken it. Miltank was amazing, probably the third best mon on the team, and I 100% would take this again as a bulky pivot, and honestly just sort of a threat, like a bulky threat, honestly. It actually put in a lot more work than I was expecting it to. Dragalge, same thing, put in a lot more work than I was expecting to, although because of how late I took it and its point value and stuff, I would have preferred a better dragon. I really do believe that my draft would have been 100% better had I had Latios on this draft. Latios Tapu Fini was what I was looking at, and they both got taken by Loco really early on. Vikavolt was a big threat that people had to prep for. Actually had a lot of amazing offensive matchups. Really good offensive typing. Tangela I ended up dropping, although it came to like one important match. Salazzle was like kind of a clutch cleaner, but in the end just kind of couldn't do it. And then my Z users ended up being Bisharp, Vikavolt, and Tangela. Only one of those stayed the same throughout the season. So that was the draft analysis, and now let's sort of talk about our team and how it evolved. So this is the final team here. This is mine down here in the bottom. I still ended up with 1 point left over. I think I had 3 at the end of the draft by taking Salazzle, and I ended up upgrading some stuff. I ended up taking Cryogonal later for... what did I drop for Cryogonal? Tangela, maybe? Yeah, it would have had to be Tangela, I think. I think I dropped Cryogonal for Tangela for Cryogonal, and I dropped Alomomola for Arachnid. Oh, excuse me. Webs didn't really come into play pretty much ever. Like, I don't know if I ever clicked it when I had it, but Arachnid actually turned out to be quite the offensive threat this time. Comfy, like I said, it ended up just like not coming to games. Pretty much after the beginning of the season, it just like didn't come to games whatsoever. And then I ended up transferring Z points onto Salazzle, and then at the end of the season we dropped Bisharp for Klefki, which I don't regret. Klefki offered a lot of support for Mega Alakazam and Buzzwole that I didn't have before on the team. Spike Stack I thought was very helpful, and I ended up with every single hazard on the team at the end of the day, which I thought was really good. But my hazard removal options were pretty poor until I got Cryogonal Klefki, which offered me 2 really solid defoggers, whereas I only had Comfy and Donphan before. So I had double spin and triple defog on the team at the end, which didn't come into place a whole lot because my removal wasn't necessary all that much. But again, Dragalge didn't put in any work. Dragalge just it walled things especially, and that was about the extent of its role this season. In terms of the standings and how they played out, this is where we ended up. Oh, whoops, blue. This is where we ended up. So we ended up in 3rd place, and we could have been in 2nd very easily. Very easily. I made a couple of misplays in some games that we'll go over, and I do feel like I could have hit an 11-win season this season. I think in particular my match against Zach and my match against Adam were big disappointments to me, and losing to both of them sort of ended a lot of my chances for the bye. Especially my loss against Adam. It basically cut my chance to win the bye down to Bill losing to Diet Tight, who ended up forfeiting the match to him, which I'm a little bit salty that it ended up coming down to a forfeit to figure out who was going to be in playoffs. Like, I don't necessarily think that that was the most fair thing to me, but I can understand why he did it. So, you know, I'm over it at this point. I've played both of my playoff matches, and it's not a big deal, right? But I just thought that it was a little bit, you know, unfortunate that I wasn't able to win the bye, and that all could have been avoided by me just winning games in the regular season. So it's not like it's Diet Tight's fault that I didn't make bye. It's my fault for not winning games. That's the real thing. I could have been 13-0, and then I wouldn't have had to worry about this at all because I would have been guaranteed a bye. But I didn't win all my games, so that's just what it comes down to, unfortunately. And yeah, I mean, making playoffs was it was my goal at the beginning of the season, was to make playoffs. I didn't know the skill level of some of these battlers. It ended up being fairly like these records don't really reflect the actual skill levels of some of the lower players in my mind. Like, I know how good Nacho is. I know how good Austin is, and Austin sort of like gave up trying for a long time, and that's how he ended up tied for last. Yeah, that just really sucked. And actually, I don't think I'm pretty sure Zach beat him, so he actually probably should be directly in last place. But excuse me, it didn't matter because no one was demoting or anything like that. But essentially, what we were playing for, what the 4 of us were playing for, is this or these 3 spots. So these 2 spots here were already secured by Vic and Bill, who got the bye, and then this 3rd spot is a promotion battle spot. So whoever won the blue playoffs gets to play that person for a chance to promote. Spoiler alert, and you guys probably have seen my finals match. We lost, so we're not going to get the chance to play for promotion. Evan's a great battler, great guy, and we barely had a higher seed than him. I'm so glad that we had a higher seed than him and didn't have to play Shiny Spam, because we would have been out round 1, and the fact that we got to play Loco again, I mean, it was a better matchup overall. Despite it not being a good matchup, I didn't have a good matchup in any of these games, if I'm being completely honest with you, just because of how bad my team was. I really felt like the only team that my team stood up to was Bill's, and Bill's sets, man, I don't even know what to say about that. This man almost brought HP Flying Zygarde to deal with Buzzwole, because I just like hard-walled his Zygarde with that thing. That's besides the point. We'll get to that right now, actually. Let's just go over the matches. So, first up, we played Belgium Blastoise. So Axelrade, we played Axelrade week 1. This is my prep doc. If you haven't seen a season recap for me, this is the same prep doc I use for everything. It's just I make a new one for every league. So my Mons, if it's green, they brought it. If it's yellow, I expected it. If it's orange, I didn't expect it. Base speeds, max speeds. So Kyurem, its max speed obviously isn't 289, but if it's a neutral nature, max speed is 289, and if it's plus speed nature, it's 317. So let's say if it's modest, it's 289. If it's timid, it's 317. That's what that means. I listed all the priority options. I listed all the hazard options, removal options, and 4x weaknesses that I can take advantage of. I did end up taking advantage of the grass weakness on Whiscash. I can't remember what. I think I had HP Grass on Salazzle maybe for it. maybe Energy Ball on Mega Alakazam as well. But yeah, we pulled out a win here. I can't remember the exact team, but oh yeah, I Thunderwaved his Rabombi. Scarf Bisharp ended up clutching out a full para on the Rabombi and killing it, and then I flinched Mimikyu, and while I broke its disguise. So this was a really interesting game. I got railed in the PRs for this because I hacked him out of the win, and I really did. I played like garbage around Rabombi. I really didn't think that Rabombi was just going to set up in my face. I should have gone Salazzle a lot earlier while it was trying to set up and just like blown it back because it had no coverage for my Salazzle. I don't know what I was doing, but I ended up letting him get to +4, and then he was able to one-shot my Salazzle. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know what I was thinking there. I'm pretty sure Megazam cleaned up this game, and that was probably about it. Yeah. Oh, Thick Fat Miltank cleaned up this game is what it was. Excuse me. Came down to like Calm Mind, Resto, Chesto, Raikou, and Infernape at the end, and my Thick Fat Miltank ended up beating both of them. So that was that match. The second match, week 2, we played. Oh my god. Week 2, we played Bill. We played Bill in the Adelaide Honchcrows. So Bill had a whack team. Bastiodon, just it's not a good mon, and Bill proved in quotation marks that it can be usable, but it's still not a good mon. Honestly, like. I don't know what to say, man. Buzzwole had just such an amazing offensive matchup against this team, and it put in a lot of work. I'm pretty sure it got a few kills with the Rocky Helmet set. I was a physically defensive. I was a defense beast boosting set. I was running enough defense investment to physically beast boost, phys def beast boost. And I ran a Charty Berry Vikavolt set for the Hitmonlee, which didn't come, which ended up taking on the Tapu Bulu, which was a special Tapu Bulu for some reason. Very strange. Darkinium Z Bisharp, which I'm pretty sure did nothing. If I remember, it actually did nothing, like 0. And this this fat recover taunt supportive Mega Alakazam actually put in a lot of work against the Articuno. Not much more to say about that. We kind of just like put in a lot of work. Week 3, we took on Zach and the Nimrod Ninetales. This was our first loss of the season, and it was a matchup I felt was definitely winnable. He had an interesting squad. 4x weakness were like they stood out to me, and it wasn't the best squad because he took like Greninja Kyurem round 1-2. It was very weird, and I didn't. I could have brought Buzzwole and taken a lot more advantage of this team. I feel I could have taken a little bit more advantage of this team because I could have been able to beat the Magnezone a little bit easier. And Magnezone ended up cucking me at the end, and I made a bad read with Comfy where I'd clicked. It was a 50-50 against Greninja, whether or not he would switch into Magnezone, and I made the safe play and Draining Kissed. And then the second time, I made the ballsy play, and he stayed in with Greninja when I could have Draining Kissed and killed it. And so I ended up losing the game pretty badly. Well, I felt it was pretty badly, and then at the end, my Scarf Salazzle outsped his Scarf Greninja because he wasn't creeping Scarf Salazzle, and Fire Blast didn't do it for me. It just wasn't enough damage because the Greninja had a lot of HP investment, and so we could have actually ended up winning that game too. I brought this whack-ass Rock Polish Bisharp that just died to a Mach Punch from Hitmontop. Like, it was so worthless when I could have just switched into Comfy on the fucking Hitmontop, but whatever. And AV Donphin, I don't remember that doing that much. It was like 1v1ing Talonflame, which just wasn't a set. Yeah, I don't know, man. That was a weird game that I played poorly in and lost to 50-50. Week 4, we took on Diet Tight, the New Britain Rock Ruff. This match, Vikavolt ended up getting a 3-piece to finish off the game against these 3 mons, actually. Glade, Torn, and Melodic. Nobody brings webs against me, right? That's like a big thing. Rabombi didn't bring webs against me. This team doesn't have webs. Galvantula and Slurpuff didn't come. Like, neither of the web setters came against me. So, yeah, this was a very interesting match. I can't say that it was my favorite of the season, but it was definitely a very exciting one. It ended up with a lot of cool stuff going on there. I think Bisharp just got like hard cocked by Fortress at one point, and Vikavolt just ended up sweeping pretty late on. I brought this really cool Will-O-Wisp Salazzle set that burnt the Tangrowth and then lived in Earthquake and was able to knock it out with a Sludge Wave because it wasn't Assault Vest, I don't think. Comfy was useless, and Alakazam put in some work too. It ended up killing the Fortress, and I think it ended up breaking the Moltres after I Thunder Waved it. Something along. Oh no, it died to a Hurricane. Nobody missed Hurricane against me this season. It was insane. 70% accurate move. Nobody missed it. Week 5, we took on... Who did we take on? Showen. And this was a match that I thought was not winnable. I thought this was a match there where I was honestly destined to auto-lose, and then I 5-0'd him. I've used this match in 3 league applications since then, because I think I played out of my mind in this game. Tangela ended up hitting a Stun Spore on the Swallow. It ate a bounce from Mega Gyarados, like not even close. I ended up fully paralyzing the Swallow twice. Sludge Bomb killed it, but I made some insane predictions with my Buzzwole, which was like really cool. I ended up predicting Clefable to switch in really early on, Iron Headed it, and then later on I predicted Latios to switch in, and I Leech Lifed it, and I was a Scarf Buzzwole, so it ended up coming out pretty clutch. This was kind of the start of Buzzwole's like reign of terror in this league, and we'll look at the stats later down the line, but I thought that was really cool. I brought like this, again, a whack-ass Bisharp set to take on Latios, which didn't end up doing anything. Tangela was an MVP, so was Miltank. Miltank's a lord, dude. Thick Fat Miltank, sponging Darmanitan and Infernape in the same season. Week 6, we took on Shiny Spam, and so our sort of trend of 2 wins, loss, 2 wins, loss continued. This matchup wasn't horrible. I'm surprised Garchomp didn't come against me, if I'm being honest. Mega Mawile was a threat. I overprepped for Munchlax after getting destroyed by it. I think Pi destroyed me in Mount Silver with it. This is a weird team to me. Like, it has utility, and then there's like Lycanroc, Simisear, and Munchlax, which basically just don't come to games. And yet Simisear came against me for some reason. It ended up putting on offensive pressure onto Buzzwole. After I had just like murked the Crobat turn 1 with Vikavolt, it just straight up died. It straight up died to a Volt Switch. Even though I was like specially defensive, it just like hard died to it. Yeah, so I ended up playing this match relatively poorly. In my mind, I didn't keep anything around, and Mew was just like sitting there at full health at the end of the game. He brought this offensive Zap Plate Rotom Wash, which was very strange, but it ended up putting a lot of work against my team. And Salazzle picked up a kill with Knockoff, I think. Excuse me. I didn't pressure the Mega Mawile enough, and so my Bisharp wasn't able to handle it super well. Even though I got 2 hits off on it, it kind of just like blew me back with Play Rough. And Buzzwole ended up picking up a few kills, but I had to lock myself into a move, which was unfortunately Earthquake at the end, because it was Mew and Simisear left, and had I been able to click Leech Life, I would have won that game, because I would have had a +1 Beast Boost, and I would have just obliterated the Mew, but it was Simisear left, unfortunately. So I had to lock myself into Earthquake, which didn't even dent the Mew at the end of the day. So, yep, Week 7, we took our next consecutive loss as we lost to Evan. This was an interesting game. I overprepped for Komao this game, and you'll see that that's exactly the same thing happened in the finals. This was the first week where I had made my drops, so Tangela and Lomomola were no longer on the team, and I had Cragnole and Araquanid instead. Araquanid functioned as my Mega Camerupt answer. Actually, in both games, it functioned as my Mega Camerupt answer, but in this game, it was an Alakazam answer as well. I ended up tracing, his IVs reset on Kartana, and so he wasn't a speed boosting variant. I choked really hard. I brought this HP Fire Miltank designed to kill a Kartana with enough bulk after Kartana was speed creeping Buzzwole or something ridiculous. Like, I put a lot of thought into the IV spread for Miltank in particular. And it was intended to be a Kartana wall, but he ended up Swords Dancing and just blew me back with Sacred Sword. But I was in a good position because I had ended up tracing Beast Boost from the Kartana, and my Mega Alakazam was primed to sweep, but he had double Scarfers. I don't know what to say, man. If the Nihilego wasn't Scarf, it was Scarf both games against him, and if the Nihilego wasn't Scarf the first time, we win that game 100% of the time. Mega Alakazam just sweeps through his team, no questions asked. Scarf Alakazam on his part was a really good idea, but it didn't end up mattering I would have taken the damage from that Alakazam anyways, because even if he was Sash, he would have brought it in. I would have attacked him, taken him to Sash, he would have attacked me, I would have killed him, and then Nihilego still comes in to sweep me. So the Alakazam item didn't matter at all, but Scarf Nihilego absolutely did, and ended up picking up like a huge win for him. I brought this, again, whack-ass Buzzwole set. I had AV with enough Spit Up to eat an HP flying from it. My Comfy set didn't have HP ground for the Nihilego, which was like really bad. Arachnid just didn't put in enough work, unfortunately. Salazzle didn't have HP ground for the Nihilego, unfortunately. It was a weird matchup that I ended up losing pretty hard. Week 8, we pulled it back, though, with a win over my good buddy Austin and the Ladner Lanturn. Austin was reusing his team from week 6, and this is about where he stopped trying. Although I did creep, I speed crept a lot of important things in this matchup, and I put a lot of thought into this prep. Because I ended up bringing like Speedy Vikavolt, Speedy Arachnid, and Speedy Dragalge just to make sure that I was outspeeding his main walls. I think Mega Alakazam ended up cleaning up this game as well. Oh, I do remember not getting a Charge Beam boost on Florges. It's a 50% chance, right? 70%. I didn't get the... Oh my god. I didn't get the boost on... Oh, whoops. Where were we? I didn't get the boost on the Florges, and had I got the boost on the Florges, it would have just been straight up GG, but I had to eat the hit, and I didn't end up going anywhere. I remember missing an Icy Wind this game with Cryogonal as well, which was very depressing. And then Donphan ended up taking care of the Charizard X pretty well. In a matchup that I think I should have lost, I ended up winning. Week 9, I can't remember what happened week 9. Oh, we played Blitz, and this was another matchup I wasn't expecting to win, but Blitz had like a well-rounded team for 9 Mons, but it was way too overpriced for him, and just ended up not doing enough this season. If we look at his record, though, he had a really strong record, 7-6 plus 16. Like, he had a really strong differential, but his losses, man, they just hurt. They hurt to see, because like this matchup, he definitely could have won this game. Arachnid hard-walled the Manaphy the entire time with this Spit F set, and Liquidation absolutely obliterated it, especially when he set up the Rain for me to obliterate it with. It was crazy. I brought Pyapa Berry Buzzwole. This is the Psychic reducing Buzzwole, and I ended up chewing a Psychic from Megalodios and absolutely obliterating it with the Leech Life. I brought Shuckaberry Salazzle, which I don't think actually did anything, but this was like supposed to be a Celesteela check. Life Orb Bisharp did nothing this game. I don't remember if it even did anything, because Sylveon didn't come. It was my main Sylveon. Like, I was just meant to kill Sylveon with it, and Sylveon didn't come at all. We've all put in a ton of work against my team. Gourgeist didn't come, which was strange to me. Oh, I know. I got tricked to Scarf turn 1 with this Bisharp, and I just O-code the Rotom. It was pretty crazy. And Vikavolt, I could have clicked Bug Buzz, but I clicked Thunderbolt on the Weavile, I think, and my Scarf got knocked off, and my Specs got knocked off, and I wasn't able to kill it. So that was a thing as well. I don't remember much about this game, besides Arachnid kind of just cleaning up the team. Week 10? Is this when we played? Okay, so this is when we played Loco, and I was really depressed about this game. Shoutouts to Magic once again for helping me through this one, man. Like, this matchup looked so bad to me on paper that I'd almost given up in prep. I was just like, fuck it, dude. I'm just going to lose. Like, there's no way I can win this game. And this Dragalge set pulled through, man. This AV Dragalge set with Icy Wind and stuff, it put in so much work against Loco's team. Koba Berry Buzzwole was so innovative on... Like, it was such a good set for this game when he had Lando, Arrow, and Sawsbuck, which had Bounce. I ended up chewing a hit, chewing the Bounce, and getting my defense beast boost. It was super clutch. Mega Alakazam picked up a strong kill on the Torkoal, and I think it ended up cleaning up the game for me as well. And I brought this super weird Lychee Berry Rock Polish Donphan with Ice Shard that caught him way off guard. He was not expecting Ice Shard on a Lychee Berry Rock Polish set whatsoever. And I ended up revenge killing his Aerodactyl really easily. I got a clutch poison from Sludge Wave on the Aerodactyl that mattered a lot. And then Miltank ended up a 1v1ing Houndoom plus Finny, which I thought was really impressive, and ended up, yeah, just beating both of them by itself, essentially. Pardon me. Week 11, we took on Vic, and this one took a long time to get the match through, but we ended up pulling it off. We pulled out a 1-0 win against Vic. I hazard stacked him, and Scizor almost ran through my team, but and it may have looked like Scizor was going to run through my team, but I was calm and collected the whole time. I was sacking things to test different things out. So Klefki, I had clicked Thunder Wave, and the Scizor, I found out the Scizor was running Speed Investment to outrun my Klefki and have Bullet Punch go before Prankster. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Then I went into Vikavolt to scout if it had Aerial Ace for the Buzzwole. Fine, I died to the Aerial Ace, whatever. He had to reveal Aerial Ace there. Bullet Punch wouldn't have killed me. And HP Fire would have just killed it, so it wouldn't have mattered. Then I went into Dragalge to try and get as much damage off with HP Fire as I could because I knew I lived a Bullet Punch, which I did. I lived the Bullet Punch because it wasn't Iron Plate boosted, and HP Fire popped the Occaberry, which was very clutch, and then it was in a range where Scarf Buzzwole was faster than it. This is the wrong team. There we go. Scarf Buzzwole was faster than it, and I was just able to kill it with the Drain Punch. Now, I was in a horrible position at this point because all I had left was Mega Alakazam and Buzzwole, man. But Mega Zam just came in on Hoop Unbound, chewed the hit. I was able to kill off the Volcanion at that point, and then Zero Aura revealed that it was Scarf and not the Hoop Unbound. Buzzwole chewed hits, and Buzzwole just cleaned up, man. Buzzwole got 4 kills. Buzzwole made a name for itself on the team in this match, dude. Picking off Vic, who was undefeated at the time, this was a super clutch game for me to win. Very, very important in the playoff race that I won this game. Very important in the playoff race. Week 12, we took a very disappointing loss, unfortunately, which ended up basically sealing the deal for us. Why? Huh? They played 2 weeks in a row? That makes no sense. Oh, I see. No, Diet Tight just forfeit the last 2 games. Okay, well, I'm a little bit more mad now, but there you go. We played Adam, and that was some whack plays from Adam, man. Adam, if you're watching this, that was super weird that you stayed in with Zapdos and Salazzle when you were calcing a Z move set, because Z move would have just blown it back. I don't even remember what else happened. Oh, Sky Uppercut on Blaziken. I thought that was great prep at the time, and then I looked up the move, and it can miss? Like, why wouldn't you just run high jump? I don't understand why you wouldn't just run high jump kick or superpower or something. Very strange Sky Uppercut set. The Serena was bulky and it had rapid spin. I don't know about that. Mega Blastoise stayed in on Mega Alakazam when I was about to kill it. It could have come in later and got a kill on something else. Super strange. Jirachi, Scarf Jirachi. What ended up costing me this game is I missed a Thunder Wave on the Scarf Jirachi. And Mega Alakazam could have swept, but it was not meant to be, I guess. I ended up having to sack this offensive Vikavolt really early on. I didn't Poisonium Z the Zapdos. That was a misplay on my part, as much as it was on his part, because there should have been no reason that Jirachi was switching on Salazzle anyways. I should have just killed it. That should have just been the play, was kill it, get it over with. I broke through a flinch with Donphan and got a ton of damage off from the Jirachi. Then, had I hit the Thunder Wave with Klefki, Mega Alakazam could have easily cleaned this team up. Easily. Very easily could have cleaned this team up. And I'm a little bit sad that I lost that game. Week 13, we took on my good buddy Nacho, who we've beaten almost every time that we played him. He did beat us one time in Nepal. He had a lot of stuff I wasn't expecting him to bring. He didn't bring any of it. It was pretty easy to prep for this game because I knew there was only 7 viable Mons against my team, and he brought 6 of them. That's all there was to it. Mega Steelix didn't come. Mega Steelix we had played in week 1, and we ended up having to play it in week 13. I think that's the only Mon we had to play twice this season, just because he had dropped Mega Aggron for Mega Steelix to get more points to get Zydog. I don't know, man. Klefki put in work this game, paralyzing things like the Fatini. I paralyzed the Hawlucha, and Mega Alakazam was able to clean up. Buzzwole had a really poor matchup. It just couldn't hit. It could not hit the Coco. And I brought another Koba Berry set to be able to get a Thunder Punch boosted in the terrain against the Hawlucha, and it was a really cool bulk up set. I actually think this could have been a really neat set had I been playing any other team, but it didn't end up working out. Hawlucha got fully paralyzed, and I was able to get a sub up with Mega Alakazam, which cleaned up the game, essentially. I got another poison with Sludge Wave on the Silvally. It was Silvally ground. I got a poison on it with the Dragalge, and it couldn't wall the Dragalge anymore, but Dragalge hard-walled the Coco, so that was a really cool set, was the Dragalge set. Mystic Water Araquanid didn't do anything, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it just died to... Oh, it died to the Zygarde. It was a roll for my Liquidation to kill it, and it just died. It lived... It had Dragon Danced, 1,000 Arrows into Outrage. Fun game nonetheless, though. Um, we'll close fixtures list for now. There's no more like it's not on the document that we played playoffs, but we played Loco. He dropped Sock for Ditto. Still wasn't expecting Ditto. Didn't really make any sense against my team, unless he was expecting Buzzwole again, which didn't come this time. Miltank still would have 1v1 the Finny, and he brought this really fun Curse Amnesia Torkoal set, but Araquanid proved to be too much for his team, honestly. I kind of cucked the Houndoom. He missed a bunch of moves. It was really sad. He missed a fly with the Lando or something, or with the arrow. Oh yeah, he missed a fly with the Lando, he missed a Stone Edge with the arrow, and he missed a Nature's Madness with the Tapu Fini. Super unfortunate, but we ended up coming out with the win and making it to finals. And we played Evan in finals. Not much to say about this match, really. I was kind of just having fun with it. Honestly, I thought offensive Cryogonal might have like kind of a fun time with it. I probably should have just like led with offensive Cryogonal and tried to get off hits. He was modest specs Lele. Lele is really strong in this format, dude. I don't know. I don't know. And then he had double UB, and Nihilego just swept me again. So not much more to say about that. I think that pretty much covers the team bar stats. So let's go over the stats then. And if you've seen my recaps in recent months, this is the document that I created, compiled statistics, and I have a records portion as well now to track my wins, losses, and my win percentage and things like that. Yeah, I'm 1 away from 100 losses, so that's fun. You guys can't see it because it's hidden by the layout, but there it is. Yeah, so we can scroll all the way down here. It's a ways until we get stuff, but here's Don. Oh, actually, you know what? We'll just sort by total kills again, and then we'll be able to see. Yeah, okay. So Mega Alakazam moved its way all the way up here. It went 18-9 this season, which is insane in 14 games. Really strong Mon, dude. Honestly, like the fact that it's up here now is just crazy. Why is Mega Houndoom not ahead of it? Okay, I don't understand that, but there you go. Buzzwole went 15-5, which is insane. It came to 10 games, died once every 2 games, and it averaged 1.5 kills a game. Crazy. This is my best. It's tied with Kartana, but Kartana came to less games. Like Ultra Beasts are so good, dude. Ultra Beasts are so good. Donphan didn't really do much this season. It came to a lot of games. It died a lot, which unfortunately hurt its record on my list here. Salazzle ended up pulling up some of the slack that it had in PCL Season 1, where it was just like straight up bad and got a lot of stuff going on there. Miltank was a beast, dude. Miltank only died like 4 times this season, and it came to like 9 games. It got a ton of kills with like Seismic Toss and stuff. It also got a bunch of passive kills with Stealth Rock and Toxic. Miltank was a monster. It averages a kill a game for a wall? Hello? Araquanid pulled itself out of the gutter for me, especially in the playoff match against Loco. I think that pulled it back quite heavily. Very good utility mon. Vikavolt was only eh. People didn't prep for it well, but like it's so slow that it's just hard to get a kill off with it. Tangela only came to like 1 game. I don't know what to say about that. Dragalge went 3-5 in 7 games. Was kind of eh. Functioned more as a special wall, really. Bisharp was horrible. 2-4 in 7 games. 100% would never draft that again. Klefki went 1-4 in 4 games. Not much more I can ask for it, honestly. It was such a good utility mon overall. Comfy 0-2 in 3 games. 100% probably wouldn't draft again. It was kind of bad. And then Cryogonal, it died once in the 2 games that it came to. I don't really know what more to say about that. Aloma Mola, I didn't highlight because it didn't come to a single game. I didn't bring it to anything, so what's the point? Yeah, it didn't come to any games, so why do I care? In terms of what I would draft again, though, Megazam, Buzzwole, 100% I would draft again. Dragalge I would think about drafting again, same with Vikavolt. Araquanid would again, Miltank would again, Salazzle maybe, Donphan I have, but honestly, Mega Alakazam and Buzzwole stood out to me. Like, both of these mons performed so well. They were my first 2 picks, and I ended up just like playing well around them, which I think was kind of a positive for the season for me. I didn't have the best season ever. I had a really shit team, in my opinion. Like, there was a reason I was ranked 14th in the power rankings at the beginning of the season post-draft. It was not a good team. I 100% admit that it was not a good team. It had glaring flaws throughout the season. I had a massive speed gap that I did not cover between Salazzle and Buzzwole of things that would actually run speed. I don't know what to say, man. We ended up going 10-5 this season. That was really strong in 15 games. I had a blast getting to edit videos for the first time and throwing the intro in there. And I'll throw the intro into this one because, like, why the hell not, right? And I also had a blast making the thumbnails. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed the thumbnail against Evan. That was a masterpiece, if I do say so myself. And yeah, that's going to be for me, guys. Red will be coming back. I believe the plan is for Red to come back in January. So you should be seeing content for Red again in January. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in January.